Yeah, it was. What is an unusual build-up. You're playing on Sunday against Subi, and we both knew we were in the finals. We had a little bit to play for. Subi did as well, to win, to get the club championship and those things. Yeah, Jamie McNamara was pretty bad when he went down, but not as bad as first anticipated. A bit of nerve. What's the word? I don't know. Damage is the right word, but that was a key part of the pain. So he mightn't miss as many weeks as I initially thought, anyhow.
Previous games between the clubs this year, I think
Yeah.
they got you by 10 goals at Bassendean, you got them about the same down East Manly. Does that count for anything come Sunday?
It's been really even. Well, those two games, and over the season we've won both the same amount of games, and I think there's probably only about 2 goals difference on percentage or thereabouts. So we've played 20 games of footy between us, 80 quarters, and there's 2 goals difference over the course of the season. So that suggests we're pretty even.
Are you pretty confident, or do you take confidence out of the game 2 weeks ago?
I'm not a believer in that psychological advantage. In some respects, Swans might have the psychological advantage. Lots of people love being underdogs, so I don't know whether they're underdogs or not, but perhaps they are. So no, I don't put much score in that, other than we played well on that day and we needed to. Simple as that, really.
What about the home ground advantage?
Well, we were keen for that, but that was more from a club financial perspective, or pretty strongly from that respect. So that was important for the club. You'd like to think you can win anywhere, but it was important from the club point of view, yeah.
What have you made of Swans over the last few weeks, and how do you go about stopping them on Sunday?
Well, they've had a terrific season. We sat here 6 months ago and they were supposed to finish bottom. And West Perth, Billy Monahan was supposed to be sitting here. So that's how things have changed. And they've had a terrific year. Lost games of late, but they've known they're going to be in the finals, and that can be difficult to manage. But no, as I said, we're 2 goals difference over 20 games. We're pretty even.
A bit like last year, is it a little bit more wide open? I mean, years before came up with always going to win the flag or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe it's a bit more even this year?
So far this year, there's been a bit of a gap between, the latter gap between East Perth and Subi and us and Swans, I guess. At various stages, Swans were right up there, but we all think we've got a chance. You're obviously better off being in the second semi than the first semi, but look, I think we've got a chance of going all the way. But we're going to, winning the first semi, you can't afford one bad game, that's for sure. Or maybe even not one bad quarter.
What about your attacks, though?
Yeah.
Goal scoring's been Achilles heel pretty much all year.
Yeah.
And inaccuracy.
Yeah.
Big totals. Is that something you think about leading into this week?
To a certain extent, all we really concern ourselves about is kicking enough goals to win. So we've won games with 9 goals. So as long as we score enough to win, Reedy, that'll suit me.
Other than J-Mac, are there any ins and outs this week?
The ruckman James Bristow missed last week, and he should be right for this week. Yeah, but he was the only one who missed last week.
We're excited for the challenge. It obviously lays ahead of us this week against Brian's East Perth mob, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. The guys are excited about it. Like Stav alluded to, last week was a tough one because you knew where you were positioned. We have probably for the last 3 weeks, knowing where we've been positioned, and been probably obviously just gearing ourselves up for that first final.
Apologies for the Eagles-aligned question, but do you know, or do you have a feeling of how many Eagles will play on the weekend, and how much does that come into your thoughts during this week?
Yeah, look, I think Dawson and the Eagles have been sort of true to their word from day one. I think they've sort of said they would probably average about 12 players every week, and I don't think it's gone beyond that throughout the year. So look, if they play up to 12, that's great for them. We think we've got a pretty good idea on who will come back. At the end of the day, whoever they put out there, they're going to be competitive. So we've just got to make sure we're prepared for that.
Just personnel for your team, Jarrett. George Hanson, Andrew McDougall and Chris Phelan all missed last week. Will they be given right up until Sunday? And does that impact on your team selection? Obviously, we're 5 days out, we're a long way. But
Yeah, no, well, Chris DeLuca was one that missed it as well. Yes, all those guys are right. Probably George is probably the one that, you probably think that will be pushing it right to the last minute, but all those other guys could have played on the weekend. We chose to give them a bit of a rest with a bit of general soreness. It's been a long year for some of those guys. One of those guys is a little bit older, long in the tooth as well. So, but we've got some other guys that have been playing some footy over the last few weeks in the reserves as well that would come into calculations.
would George play with the guard? Is it a dislocated or broken thing?
Oh, it's not. The finger will be fine. It's something else.
Have you seen the games against East Perth? Obviously, you've had a good record against them this season, and how much sort of impact does that have going into Perth?
Well, Stav just alluded to earlier, the underdog. They could use that as well. But look, I think both teams are very competitive. We play a similar brand of football. They've been tight contests both games, and obviously we've come out on top both of those. But look, doesn't give us a guaranteed right to make sure that we win this week. So look, we've just got to make sure we prepare as best as we can this week and give a good account of ourselves.
Kyle Horsley's had a fantastic finish. I don't think he played for the first 6 weeks, but he's just been terrific all year. You're looking to get the lead from the front again on Sunday.
Oh, definitely. I think he's probably from around round 6 to sort of 16, 18. He's probably been our best player, probably one of the form players of the competition. So, yeah, look, he was in some good form on the weekend. He's probably been down probably prior to that over the last few weeks, but yeah, look, he'll be leading from the front.
Excited being a coach of a finals team as opposed to a player in your WAFL and AFL days?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's obviously a different spin on it. Hopefully I can draw on some of my experiences as a player to keep the boys calm and their head in it and make sure they don't get ahead of themselves and obviously play that game before it's even presented to them. So, look, yeah, I'll try and draw on a few of those things, but yeah, looking forward to it.